Hi, Bob Quinn here from GentleTools.com. I'm here with some of my canine friends and human friends to show a brief video segment on how to use some of our basic tools. This a Taitian, and this we just call our basic stroking tool, which is a combination of two tools, this fan-shaped one and the round one. So in this video segment I'll treat a number of dogs and you'll get a sense of how this work goes. You can find more information at the website GentleTools.com. What I'm going to show is how to treat a dog that is too hyperactive. It's a very calming treatment, very easily learned. What happens when people get excited or anxious for that matter is in Chinese medicine we have the idea of circulation of the vital energy, and if you are getting anxious the energy is going up, 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 and it needs help getting back down. So if we have a dog that's too anxious, that's too hyperactive, that is a case where the energy has gone up and it needs help to circulate back down. For that reason, we always are stroking from the head towards the butt on the dog, not back and forth, always in that one direction. We want to help the energy come down. The way the tool is held, we're not doing this sort of thing unless for reasons of angle you have to. In general, we want the tool to be back from the tips of the finger, held off to the side, then you can lock down with your thumb. And that way, when you stroke, the metal actually barely touches at all. The technique we're talking about here is really working on the surface energetic. This is not a massage technique. Not that that would be a bad idea, but that's not what this tool is designed for. So a basic stroking, and you see it's a wrist movement. It's not from my shoulder like this. It's a gentle wrist movement. And we want to, before we start on the dog, we'll quickly scan at least the spine to get a sense of you might call it the beginning state of the energy. And we're scanning for any obvious areas of heat, or if not heat, a prickly sort of sensation. And as a beginning, you might, if you're watching this video at home, first get a sense of where in your hand do you perceive best temperature. So for me, it's this area right in here. Some people it's all the way up on the fingertips, some people further down, some over here, some over here. Get acquainted with your own perceptual apparatus, we could say, and you're going to use that particular part as you scan the spine to see sort of the baseline, because any areas that show micro areas of inflammation where you feel heat or what I've described as a prickly sensation, those are areas where at the end of our brief treatment, and this should be a brief treatment, we want that to be changed. We want it to be less hot, less prickly, ideally not at all hot, not at all prickly. And so let's see how this looks on one of our dogs here. So we have a Casali here, very excited because there are other dogs in the house. I'm going to quickly scan. Already feel heat here, less. And this is not all that, it might seem like it'd be particularly subtle, it's not all that subtle. Mainly I feel heat here, so there has been this upward movement of this vital energy, we could call it. So again, this basic stroking tool, I'll review the hold. We're going to hold it like this, coming off towards the thumb, and the thumb just gently locking down on it. Are we still in the frame there?
Stand up.
And no. Yeah, here we go. You see, I'm just barely stroking. I have to come in contact. I feel the heat in here. That's what I want to move down. I can do a single hand stroking, I can stroke and follow. But again, it's not mindless. I can't do this and think about the laundry in the basement or my shopping list. You have to really pay attention to the feel of the energy and start to help move it back down. Now, metals, of course, have energetic properties. We have this tool primarily in copper. You see me using a stainless steel one here. I'll take a copper one out in a moment and show that as well. It's changing. It's less hot, but still needs a bit more. Come here, sweetie. Come here. I'm just going to get a sense. Still needs a little more. You want to try? So hold. Okay. Hold about like that. If you're right-handed, use your right hand.
Like this?
Yeah. But more relaxed in the hand. Yeah. Relax the wrist. Yeah. And even lighter touch. Really think of working the surface. That's perfect. Loosen the wrist again.
I see, because of the surface.
You want the energy. It's not so much a fur or a skin kind of technique. Yeah. What a good dog. What a good dog.
To the very bottom?
Yeah. And so as I scan here, it's starting to feel pretty consistent all the way down. I had said initially we don't want to over-treat. This is not a therapy where more is better. You just get the change you want and then trust that that's enough. This is can be repeated every day, even twice a day if needed. And each time should really only take 2 or 3, 4 minutes at the tops. And the benefits accrue over time. I don't know if you could feel initially, but there's a good change there. There had been none of that prickly sensation, but there had been an overt, easily palpated heat. Yeah. And so if this is done every day for a hyperactive dog, the behavior changes notably. Let's get another. So I just one more time want to go through the tools. This is our basic stroking tool that we sell at gentletools.com. And the inspiration for this fan-shaped N comes from this one. This is a Yonayama Tsanshin, a commonly used tool in Japanese pediatric practice. And the rounded end comes from this, another common pediatric tool. This is called an Enshin, this one designed by Yanagishita, who was a very famous acupuncturist who died a few years ago. We haven't talked in this video segment about how to use the Enshin. I will get another segment up sometime soon. We also have looked at this tool, which is a Teishin. This one, again, comes out of pediatric practice, which is called Shonishin. This tool is called a Teishin, T-E-I-S-H-I-N. This is gold-plated over aluminum. This was designed also by Mr. Yanagishita. And this one we saw, just to review, is there are many ways you can use a Teishin. We've only shown one. This basic, very light tapping where you feel accumulation or focal area of heat. Just tap long enough till the heat starts to disperse. Don't keep going until all the heat is gone. And the basic technique for this again was to hold it about like this, the thumb gently locking it down, and a movement coming from the wrist with this gentle stroke. Very, very, very light contact of the metal on the skin. For a puppy, very short strokes. An adult dog, a large dog, you could lengthen it out like this. So that's a basic review of the tools that we use. You can go to gentletools.com to see these.